Hello everyone, we are once again at the end of another month, and that means that our stats are available. These are stats through the end of March 2025. So let's get into our real estate market update. This is for Winter Haven, Florida, April 2025. So through the end of March 2025, we had 84 closed sales in Winter Haven compared to 84 sales a year ago, so no change there. Cash sales as a percentage of closed sales, 21.4% of all sales were cash sales compared to 27.4% a year ago, a decrease of 21.9%. The median sales price in Winter Haven is $293,995. That is compared to $290,000 a year ago. So home prices in Winter Haven actually went up 1.4%. The average sales price in Winter Haven is $290,234. That's compared to $290,555. That's a decrease of 0.1%. While we did see an increase in the median sales price, we saw a little bit of a difference in the average sales price, a little drop, but not very significant at all. Median percent of original list price, sellers are receiving 95.6% of original list price. That's compared to 97% a year ago, a decrease of 1.4%. How long is it taking homes to go under contract from listing? 65 days in Winter Haven compared to 41 days a year ago, an increase of 58.5%. So more than 3 weeks longer it is taking this year compared to last year. Median time to sale, 111 days compared to 83 days a year ago, an increase of 33.7%. New pending sales, this is the number of listed properties that went under contract during the month. 105 for Winter Haven compared to 85 a year ago, an increase of 23.5%. Pending inventory, 121 homes were pending at the end of the month compared to 109 a year ago, an increase of 11%. Active inventory, 460 homes are active in Winter Haven compared to 375 a year ago. That's an increase of 22.7%. And then finally, month supply of inventory, we're at 5.4 month supply of inventory compared to 4.9 month supply of inventory a year ago, an increase of 10.2%, which means we are moving closer to a balanced and even a buyer's market. And there'll be pockets of Winter Haven that may very well be in a buyer's market already. I've always mentioned before that real estate is hyper-local, and so if you have a particular property you're interested in and want to know where things stand in that area, please reach out. Be happy to answer those questions for you. In the meantime, tune in and we'll talk a little bit more about what this means and opportunities for you as buyers and sellers. So the market has been definitely challenging so far. I would say that I did see in the month of March an increase of activity over previous months. That being said, depending on where you're looking in Polk County and or Winter Haven, it may be more active, it may be less active, prices may be going up, prices may be going down. But there's not a huge difference. What you really need to look at is where your home is located and what's happening in that zip code even, and maybe even the neighborhood, and then maybe the type of home as well. I know that in, for example, a Davenport-Kissimmee area, that townhomes and condos are in an extreme buyer's market. There's a flood of inventory of those types of homes. And so home prices and values of those homes are going down because there is so many months of inventory. Single family homes haven't been impacted quite as much, but again, it'll depend on the area. If you live in a community and there's a lot of homes for sale, then it's going to probably affect your home prices if you're in a particular neighborhood, for example. As far as sellers, what does this mean? It means that most sellers right now are giving concessions to buyers. Most sellers are negotiating with buyers. Most sellers are having some flexibility. And it's really important to have your home move-in ready because that's what buyers are looking for. If your home is not move-in ready, then buyers are not going to act quickly on your home and it's going to sit. Because you have more competition as a seller than you did even a year or two ago, it means that if you need to sell, You need to price on the low end of the range of your home's value as opposed to the high end. Now, if you can be patient, if you can wait, you don't need to sell, you just want to sell, you can test the market a little bit more. But you need to be patient. Buyers are being much choosier. They are being more thoughtful. And so your home is going to take longer to sell if you're trying to push the value. Like I said, now if you price below market or at market at the low end, those homes are still moving pretty quickly as long as they're move-in ready as well. So motivation to sell becomes really important in this market. Now, if you're a buyer, what this means is that there are opportunities. You do not need to waive any contingencies, so you can definitely do your inspection, your financing, your appraisal contingencies, all are there. You probably are going to be able to ask for some concessions to help you with closing costs or a rate buy down. And you're probably not going to have to pay list price if you're a buyer. Now, that being said, most sellers only have so much wiggle room in the price of the home and how much they can give in concessions, and you may not be able to get both, again, because sellers are only going to have so much wiggle room. If you bought your home just a couple years ago and you need to sell, then you've got some equity but not a lot to cover all your closing costs and things like that. So those sellers are going to be a little more challenging to help you with your closing costs. Where the opportunity lies right now is with new home construction, all day, every day. The new home builders have a lot of inventory. For them, getting it sold is more important to an extent than how much it sells for. Every home that's built already and doesn't have someone under contract to purchase it or haven't purchased it is a loss for that builder, and so they are reducing prices. I'm seeing $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 price reduction, sometimes more. Along with that price reduction, I am still seeing interest rate buy downs. I think D.R. Horton just announced 3.5%, maybe even 3% for certain homes that they're really trying to get rid of. And closing cost assistance. So if you can save $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 off a home, get a 3.5% or a 3% interest rate because of their interest rate buy down, and get most of your closing costs paid for, that's a deal you really should take advantage of. There are other builders doing other incentives as well, with interest rate buy downs, large price reductions, and closing costs. If you are eyeing a specific community or have questions about a specific builder, let me know. I have connections with all the builders in the area, and I can let you know what the current incentives are. They change on a weekly basis. They'll even be different from one home to the next depending on the builder. If you are interested in exploring new home construction, I highly recommend you go with a realtor. Please remember that the sales agents are all great with most of these builders, but they do represent the builder. They don't represent you. So you want to go with your own buyer's agent. Most builders are paying for buyer's agent compensation so that you don't need to worry about that. And so really that is where your opportunity lies. It lies with new home construction. If you're a buyer out there, I would jump on those opportunities right now. I don't know how long they're going to last, but they are there now, and so now's the time to take advantage of it. As always, if you or someone you know is looking to buy or sell a home in Central Florida, I hope you'll give me a chance. Please reach out to me. I'd love to help you. Remember, you can't miss with Chris. Have a great day, everybody.